Hey, it's the official podcast, and Jackson has asked me an adorable question, so I want Jackson to ask that one on air for everyone to hear.
Okay, so over the weekend, Charlie posted a picture on Instagram, on his Instagram account, of him hanging out with some friends at a bar in Florida, having a goofy time, it looks like. And I noticed a guy on the left there, Charlie, or the right of the picture. And I had a question for you. Was that actually the Mandalorian himself? Was that Pedro Pascal, or did my eyes deceive me?
Well, Jackson, unfortunately you fell victim to the oldest trick in the book. It's not the real Pedro Pascal. So what happened is a couple buddies came in to town and we went to bars. And they had met a guy who looks exactly like Pedro Pascal and asked if he'd be a part of like this big video they were making, which is actually a really fire idea. I won't spoil the surprise of it, but he's like, yeah, I'm down to do that. And then he just decided to like hang around for the rest of the night too, because he was nice. And he went to the bars with us, and everyone thought it was the real Pedro Pascal.
It genuinely looks like him.
It looks exactly like him.
I could definitely tell that like something was off, but if you had told me that was genuinely Pedro Pascal, I would have no problem believing it. He does. Yeah. He looks almost like a 1-to-1 replica. Why? How did they find him? Did he just was he just walking down the street and they were like, "Holy shit, it's Pedro Pascal"?
Yeah, it was pure happenstance that they ran into him. Like they filmed a couple of things they were doing. And like at some point they just saw him, I think if I remember correctly, and he just looked like Pedro Pascal. So they just became friends and asked him if he'd like hang out and do that piece of content with them.
Did you know that immediately that it wasn't Pedro, or were you also like tricked?
I thought it was like there was like this couple of seconds where it was like, holy shit, they know Pedro Pascal. But then, like, I had to really come to reality, like, there's no way they would know Pedro Pascal, nor would he be at this bar. No shot.
That's what. So when I saw the initial Instagram post, it was like at like 6 a.m. my time or whatever. I was just waking up, my eyes were all foggy. And I look at him like, what the fuck is Charlie doing with Pedro Pascal at a bar? What the fuck is Pedro Pascal doing with Charlie at a bar? Like, what? Surely he's got better things to do than like go to a bar. How old is he? He's like mid-40s or whatever. Hang out with like a bunch of YouTubers at a bar. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I feel like I've entered Bizarro world.
But what's even cuter is Pedro Pascal there is actually older than the real Pedro Pascal. So it would make even less sense.
Did he say that? Of course, he has to be stopped like constantly and asked about Pedro, right?
Yeah, he said he gets it all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. I've never I've definitely seen like celebrity lookalikes that are like pretty close, but that one fooled me. That got me.
Yeah, same. No, I fell victim to it for a matter of seconds too before I started to walk through like the stages of trying to piece together what's true and what's false.
If you guys were gifted with the luck to be born looking like a celebrity, like you had that kind of likeness, would you use your new power for evil, or would you try to like stay under wraps?
How would you use it for evil?
Yeah, define evil.
You could like Pedro Pascal, that guy could like run down the street naked, flopping his cock around, and it would probably be on like the news, the tabloids or whatever immediately.
Then he'd still be the one getting arrested, not the real Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, but it
wouldn't be like, so he'd have to get away with it. He'd have to streak down the street and then like not get caught, and then the real Pedro Pascal gets arrested because they think he did it.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Why would you have a grudge against the guy to like defame him like that just for no reason? I thought when you said for evil, like going to a bar and lying to girls to get laid, like I'm
that's
the
what I
real
thought
Brad Pitt
too.
Yeah. Well, that's got to be a thing for sure with celebrity lookalikes. But
no,
I was thinking more like a goofy direction. Like I'll go back to Kaya's example that he used on a previous episode about the shit teleporting, but like robbing a bank as Pedro Pascal, stuff like that.
Why would they let Pedro Pascal rob a bank? How does Pedro Pascal make it any different than just robbing a bank?
Well, you have a
it
cover.
Doesn't change any of the variable.
No, it's on camera, they're like, holy shit, that's the Mandalorian. And then they have to go investigate the Mandalorian instead of you because you
can just use a mask.
The darkness.
I guess.
Yeah, but the mask is like obvious. Then they know that there's someone like hiding underneath it. But when they see Pedro Pascal on the cameras,
they're gonna call his agent and say, "Where were you on the night of this robbery?" And he's gonna be like, "I don't know, in my mega $1 million mansion. What do you mean? Where was I? Here's my evidence." And he's gonna be fine.
You know what? I don't usually do this, but I'll take Jackson's stupid side here for a second. I read a story the other day.
You don't have to call it the stupid side if you're taking it.
Now, Jackson. Everyone has to take the stupid side every now and then.
Yeah, pipe down. I'm trying to help. There was a story the other day about how a robbery had occurred, and they used AI facial recognition software to try and figure out who the robber was, and they arrested an innocent man who was over 2,000 miles away in California at the time of the robbery. He got thrown in jail and immediately sexually assaulted by the inmates. And it wasn't until after they ran through all of this.
That took a bummer turn to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was he immediately sexually assaulted? Was he just like stupidly sexy or something? Like, why is that immediate?
Well, it's just he was going through like the horror story of being like the victim of this terrible false identity thing.
Well, you made it sound like he's been diddled as soon as the door closed. He was immediately diddled, like it was just a diddle room that they stuck him into. That's such a sad ending.
Well, coincidentally, he too looked like Pedro Pascal, so it was just an unfortunate coincidence.
Oh, was he just too sexy?
Yeah, what I was getting at, Jackson, is like perhaps since this worked already, where they just took AI at its word that this robber vaguely resembled a man 2,000 miles away and then convicted him for it. Maybe if this guy, Pedro Pascal, committed a crime looking like him, and then they check the cameras, they'd be like, okay, let's go arrest Pedro without doing any kind of due diligence.
Yeah,
that's fair. I mean, this sort of stuff happens all the time, even without facial recognition, right? Because like social media will go on a hunt, and they'll be like, there was this one story about that one, like January 6th protester where people doxed him on the internet and like from videos where he was there because they caught him bashing a cop over the skull with a fire extinguisher. The only issue is they got the wrong guy, like a lookalike. But immediately within hours, like his family was getting harassed to the point where the FBI picked him up and interrogated him just to find out, oh, this guy was just at fucking home shopping or putting away his groceries when this whole thing happened. And Reddit also, they also doxed some other guy who they thought was the Boston bomber.
Yeah, I was going to bring that one up.
Yeah, that one.
We did it,
Reddit. The classic catchphrase. Oh, man.
But see, that sort of stuff only happens to like unknown people, just random pedestrians that look alike. It's not like they wouldn't just pick up Pedro Pascal and interrogate him because he wore a Pedro mask or mustache to the bank.
Well, they probably would. Like, if you did your research, if you were the Pedro Pascal lookalike and you did your research to like figure out his entire schedule, you could like perform the bank robbery like a night that you know that he's going to be inside his home alone, and then he's fucked. Because he's got no kind of corroboration from other eyewitnesses that he's actually, you know, doing stuff at the time. So if you perfected that and like committed the crime when you know that he's alone, then I think if they looked at the camera and saw Pedro Pascal, like go in there wearing the Mandalorian armor or something as well, just without the helmet, obviously, just stuff like that, really sell that you're Pedro Pascal. And then, like, 100%, if they look at the camera, I guarantee you they're at least going to go have serious talks with the real Pedro
they'll have the talking to, maybe. Why'd you wear your Mandalorian armor to this robbery?
Yeah, if you wear the Mandalorian armor, you could be anyone on the planet and just say, oh, I'm Pedro Pascal. I'm robbing this bank.
Without the helmet.
I said without the helmet.
Oh, without the helmet. Okay. That's a little different. I figured the genius plan would be you steal the prop from the set, wear it to the bank robbery, and while you're firing your gun at the teller, say, I'm Pedro Pascal. And then they'll think that he did it, because who else would have that armor?
This Beskar steel belongs to Pedro Pascal. Don't forget it.
Yeah.
Take along Baby Yoda as an accomplice. Just like a little 3D.
The actual figure. CGI little thing. Yeah.
I'm looking at a news article of it's on Yahoo News. Black man accused of wearing lifelike white man mask to burglarize homes, and then it's a photo of him, and it's very funny looking because it looks like a Mission Impossible prop. You know, when they pull off their masks, it kind of looks like that. And they still
yeah.
got him somehow, which is impressive. So I don't think you're gonna get away with pretending to be.
But how
Pedro
the fuck did they?
Pascal.
How did they get him? How did they get him? Just like forensic DNA evidence, maybe. But like, how?
Well,
Criminals are stupid. He probably bragged about it.
so here, no. Here I am looking at the surveillance photos that they took
he
of
was-
him, and he left out one crucial detail. He wore the white man mask face, and it's fairly convincing on camera. It looks real, but he didn't cover his hands, so he just has dark-skinned black hands this whole time. So that was probably his
Wait,
first
his hands
blunder.
look white in that one photo in the middle there. It says he got caught because they caught him in the act, basically, as he was breaking into a home.
Oh man, that must have been so scary. That must have been like a Scooby-Doo situation where they took off the mask.
I know,
directly on
exactly.
the
That's
floor.
what I was thinking. Is like, aha, it was you all along.
Rip it off, and there's a black man underneath.
Like, E for effort, I guess. You know, try if you're gonna commit crimes, at least try to look like someone else. I don't know. Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you guys not remember, like, back to Reddit, the advice of like, ask Reddit if you were to commit like a robbery or a big felony, how would you do it and get away with it? The number one suggestion was always like, grow out a big beard, commit the crime, and shave it off. And I always thought that that's legitimately not a terrible idea.
You could also shave your head bald as well if you grow out your hair.
Oh yeah, and cut your hair.
Yep.
Yeah, cut your hair too.
Yeah, but that's like such a basic idea, right?
Yeah,
That
it's
you would
pretty
think every
simple.
criminal would think of. So why don't they? Or do the? I assume cops are trained on this. They're not going to be like thrown off because you put on your Superman glasses and all of a sudden
Yeah, I just
you're the
don't
exact
see- yeah, I
same
don't see
looking
that
guy, but
working.
without a mustache.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, they can still tell.
Facial hair like really changes the way a person looks, to be
Mhm.
honest. Like if I shaved right now, I feel like Andrew would be like a dog that's lost, wouldn't recognize me anymore or something. Like
That's true.
Yeah.
You're banking
I really
on
think it changes.
you're banking on eyewitnesses being the only
Yeah,
problem
mainly.
here. Like, if only just like an old granny saw you, okay, then you're fine. But if they have like video footage on you and
Yeah,
they can just
it's
use
video
facial
footage.
recognition, you're fucked either way.
Because it goes off
Yeah.
bone
I guess
structure
if
and
you're
stuff
going to
like
go
that.
the beard route and you're like doing burglary or whatever, you may as well just wear a ski mask by that point. It's more convenient and better at hiding your face.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. Absolutely. It just, I mean, to what Jackson said is if you, or like this guy, if you wear a mask of like somebody who's completely a different race than you, that is smart. He wasn't caught until he was literally caught in the act. And that might work better than just a ski mask, I guess.
Because
Because you're literally, you're not just,
until he was caught in the act. You mean he was caught immediately? Then he was committing the crime, and then he got.
no,
caught.
I meant, okay, sorry, let me phrase it this way. He wasn't caught until, like, it wasn't the video footage that got him, is my point. And the
Yeah, because
police
he didn't
were
get to the point where
presumably
the
looking
video
for a white
footage
guy.
was even relevant. He got caught in the act. He was there committing the crime.
I know, I'm just
Like the-
saying it wasn't the video footage or eyewitnesses that were the issue for this guy, so his plan that far worked. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
We don't know if that would have worked
What do you
because
mean?
they never got to the point where eyewitnesses were relevant because they caught him in the act. We don't know if it would have worked.
Well, there's screenshots of like video cameras. I assume they were looking for him at some point. Sounds like he burglarized more than one home, right?
Oh, if he did it multiple times, then yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think
I
he
don't
was
know.
a serial burglar.
Okay.
Which, hey,
Well,
you
then,
know,
yeah.
I mean, he found a good way to do it, I suppose.
I could definitely see that working the best. I think that's the way that you would do it is if you just wear a complete like 3D mask, but probably like an entire bodysuit if you could make it as realistic as possible.
Mhm.
I think that would be the only way because then you would also circumvent like fingerprints and stuff, right? Because you're wearing like a
Right.
latex
Yeah.
thing
You
or
have
whatever
to
over
you have
your
to
hands.
3D print Pedro Pascal's skin onto your skin, and then people will really think
Or-
you did it.
The fingerprints.
or like I'm saying, be born as a Pedro Pascal lookalike, like this guy. He could be a criminal.
Wait. No, even better. Just be Pedro Pascal. And then do the robbery, and then when they question you, go, "What do you think? I did it? I'm Pedro
Blame it on the
Pascal.
look-
Why the fuck would I rob
No,
a bank?
Why would I do this? Yeah.
That's stupid."
No, then
Yeah,
blame it
that's
on
smart.
the lookalike. We could
Yeah.
go the other way. Blame it on the lookalike. There's a guy in
Yeah.
Florida that looks like me.
It was that guy in
I could-
Charlie's photo.
That's that son of a bitch. I recognize him anywhere.
Man, celebrities really can do anything, can't they?
That's fun. You never hear about this, by the way. This is like one-off. The news I just read was like a one-off thing, but you never hear about things like, I don't know, a criminal using a fat suit, you know? or like changing the size of his shoe prints or something by like attaching a smaller shoe sole to the bottom of his shoes or anything like that.
Yeah, if there was one thing where I feel like you should start to get creative, it would be like crime.
I think what you described, the shoe soles thing, wasn't that the crux of like a Agatha Christie or Sherlock Holmes novel where the villain wore shoes with larger shoes underneath to change his shoe size? I think it's from like a murder mystery.
Yeah, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered is why people don't, like, if they're committing crimes, like, just wear slightly smaller shoes than what you're usually, like, even if your, like, toes hang over the edge or whatever of them, just wear, like, smaller shoes, because, like, most forensic cases that I read deal with, like, shoe footprints and stuff like that, and if they have a smaller size than what is actually at your home, then they're screwed, because they're going after a guy with, like, size 8 feet or whatever, when you've got size 10.
And you could contaminate the crime scene with, like, you know, just go to a public toilet and pick up random pubes off the ground, like next to the toilet or their piss or something, and just smear it at the crime scene. Get them in trouble.
That's a really fun preparation for the robbery. Let me go get pubes from the gas station toilet real quick.
Look, are you committed to robbing a place or no? Okay, this is what we're talking about. You're committing a crime here. You're gonna murder a guy, but you're too lazy to do homework?
Well, no, you should double down on it, too. You should pull out, like, a Ziploc bag just filled with pubes and dump them all over the crime scene.
Yeah.
Of all different people's, too, so they'll just confused.
That's a brilliant idea. Like, sweep the floor of a barber one day and just get, like, the DNA from 50 different fucking dudes and dump them all over the place. Needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
And, like, the beard thing,
looking for, but
like... And with, like, the beard thing, like, if they come investigate you, make sure you've shaved your pubes entirely off, so then when you pull down your pants, they're like, oh my god, this guy doesn't have pubes. It can't be him. Get laser.
Ew.
Man, you have to do a lot.
Would work.
You have to do a lot to perfectly rob a bank. You have to, like, shave every single hair off your body. Then you have to laser your fingerprints off. You have to wear some sort of mask. This is too much work. Fuck this.
Yeah, and women think they have it difficult, huh?
Yeah, bank robbers really do have it hard in life.
Stuff like that even happens still?
Bank robberies? Not really.
Not just bank robberies, but I mean like big scheme, actual, we're going to pull up with a car and rob the place with guns and then we're going to leave. And I'm not talking just about like stray 1 or 2 dopes walking into a jewelry store and pointing a gun at the clerk. I mean like an actual coordinated hit. On a place to steal all their shit and get away.
These days, the criminals smart enough to know how to do that. Just do it digitally. They just go in through the internet and steal shit.
That's true. Yeah, I guess they just scam.
Plus, banks are like the most surveilled areas in the world. Like crazy levels of security.
I just looked it up to see what the most recent bank robbery was. There was one a day ago with an 83-year-old ex-convict who had just been arrested and connected to 7 bank robberies in the Chicago area. So this guy was doing pretty well, even at 83. Maybe it's not as uncommon as we think.
Did he get away with the robbery?
He got caught, though.
Well, he got caught in the end, but he had 7 bank robberies under his belt.
Was it all in like the same day or something? Maybe it's like a Shawshank Redemption Brooks thing where he's trying to get caught so he can go back to jail.
Over the course of 7 months, he apparently robbed about 7 banks, and he became known as the Leaping Bandit.
Didn't we talk about
That's
him
a lame name.
on an episode a while ago?
No.
That sounds familiar.
This happened a day ago. That'd be crazy if we talked about him.
Andrew, you might be misremembering to the time where we were talking about how criminals get really, really cool names for no reason, and then people start like thinking of them as badasses. This guy got a really lame one. Got a bad deal here.
Yeah, Leaping Bandit's not that cool.
Also, the issue is, like, people that rob banks are usually so fucking stupid. Like, it's a low IQ portion of the population. Remember that one guy who thought, like, what was it? It was something like if he puts baby powder on his toes or something, he would be invisible to the security cameras.
Lemon juice. He thought if he put lemon juice on his body, he'd be invisible to surveillance cameras.
That's beyond stupid. That's like schizophrenic stupid. That's I'm hallucinating things stupid.
No, that's like I watched a cartoon and I believed it kind of stupid. That's like...
yeah.
What's the logic there? What was the logic?
Well, Invisible Ink, probably.
Yeah, it was Invisible Ink or something, but he had a really cool quote, and I think he said, "I can't believe the juice didn't work." Let me find that.
Yeah, I forgot where I
Verbatim?
read this. I was reading about bank robberies and the people who do it and the psychology. And the idea is that if you're smart enough to know how to successfully get away with something like that, you're smart enough to usually make money in better ways that don't risk you going to jail forever. So why do it, you know?
Or you don't get caught, probably.
Or you don't get caught at
Even
all
if
and
you
they don't
do.
talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
just like confirmation bias where we only hear about the idiots that get caught.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
1995. MacArthur Wheeler and Clifton Earl Johnson robbed 2 Pittsburgh banks at gunpoint and attempted to disguise themselves, but it made no attempts to disguise themselves. Instead, they covered their faces in lemon juice, believing it would make them invisible to security cameras. When they were caught, one of them said the lemon juice didn't work.
Wait, so it was 2 of them? 2 people that dumb
Two
actually
people,
met
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
somehow, and they
Yep.
Dumb
sharing
people meet all
the
the time.
7 brain cells they have, they came up with this idea, why don't we just rob a bank? Like, if somebody proposed that to me, even my best friend, I'd be like, we're not smart enough to get away with that, or badass enough. They're gonna catch us and laugh at us.
Like how? Like I can't believe people team up for crime because you have to put so much trust and faith in another person to not fuck up their part of it, and then also they're a loose end afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I think there's 2 other things I want to mention about this story in particular. I also love that they only cover their faces in lemon juice, so what would happen is they would just be like floating guns and shit walking around in the footage. It wouldn't even be like invisible people. It'd be like Rayman.
Like,
But then also, when he got caught, he then went on to say, but I wore the juice. I wore the lemon juice, stunned that it didn't work.
where would
It's a
he
legal
even have
defense.
gotten the idea, I wonder? Like, who told you this
Yeah,
information?
that's what I was thinking.
So, according to this, they got it from the belief of like how invisible ink works. So, I guess he just saw
like
invisible ink.
He took one ingredient.
No, you can actually do this, I think, with lemon juice. If you dip like a Q-tip in lemon juice and then you can write with it on paper, it will not be visible easily. But if you heat it up, like over a candle without burning the paper, but heating the lemon juice up enough, it becomes visible because it browns as it gets hot. So that, I guess, this is a children's trick that I learned when I was like 8.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can write invisible messages with lemons. Oh, so
On the
cool,
way
I'm a
out during
spy.
their escape attempt, they needed a distraction, so they put baking soda and vinegar together to make a volcano to just blow up the bank.
They booby trapped it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're shitting on them, but they really did do their due diligence. So, although Wheeler was initially skeptical of the lemon juice, they tested the method by covering his face with lemon juice and capturing an image of it with a Polaroid camera. And he was missing from the resulting photograph, so he then trusted the method to be effective.
Did he just move out of the way, or was it like a delayed Polaroid shot or something?
So, according to detectives, they believe that his absence in the image was caused by bad film, a maladjusted camera, or Wheeler unintentionally pointing the camera away from his face.
Holy shit.
I'm like a vampire,
Jesus
bro. This lemon
Christ.
juice got me outside of this image now. I'm not even here.
And he didn't like
This is so
try
weird.
twice. Also, when you were imagine yourself, you're in your
good enough for me.
bathroom and you have lemons. You're squeezing them and rubbing it into your face, and it stings. And you look up in the
Yeah,
mirror
that's
and you
what I
can
was
still
gonna say.
see yourself. Do you not stop to think? Like,
Oh, man.
I
No,
have
mirrors,
no
mirrors
idea.
work differently.
They're just
Mirrors
so
are
dumb.
anti lemon juice technology in them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
that's what I was
another
thinking. Though. Like,
classic.
wouldn't
ahead.
it sting to hell if you had lemon juice on your
Yeah.
face during a robbery?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Covered in it.
that
Maybe
means
they
it's
thought
working.
if they put the lemon juice in their eyes and they couldn't see, then the other people couldn't see them.
Yeah.
So they'd be immune to cameras.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah. It's the old reverse wraparound effect. The one that I always love quoting,
Yeah.
it's like the lemon juice one. May mentioned it on the show. It was 2 guys who robbed a KFC in Baton Rouge, and one of them worked there, which I guess it is some thinking, because you'll know, oh, here's where the register is and here's how to open and all that shit. But when they went in, one of the coworkers recognized him, and she said, "Cleveland, is that you?" And he immediately responds, "No, it's not me."
Oh, yeah, I remember that one too. That one was pretty hype.
They're not the smartest people.
Well, to bring it back to our neck of the woods, Andrew, do you remember how our serial killer got caught? I don't know if you recall, but you remember the serial killer from a few years ago?
I do remember that, but I don't remember how he got caught.
Yeah, what was his name?
I don't remember his name, but we talked about it on the show. He got caught.
Like I meant the moniker, right? Like you know, like you gave him a name while you were talking about him before he was caught. I just don't remember that name.
Wasn't it something lame like the Florida Stabber or something? Or
So it was something like that. What's that weird Ebor Village? It was something to do with Ebor, wasn't it?
No, he was in Seminole Heights, but which is it's close, like it's not far away. But where was it? Yeah, here it is. Police charged Donaldson, that was the murderer, with 4 counts of murder. Donaldson stated that the pistol belonged to him, but did not state whether he had committed the killings. And the pistol he's referring to is because he put it in the fucking bag of one of the like McDonald's bags that he was serving to a customer, and I think it was a cop that he served it to. Yeah, in 2017, November 28, 2017, Donaldson handed a pistol in a bag to his manager at the McDonald's he worked at and instructed her to bury the bag. The investigation revealed the pistol had fired the bullets used in the killing, and Donaldson's cell phone had been in the vicinity of the killings at the relevant times.
How do they get... If I'm gonna get rid of evidence of a crime that I committed, I'm not gonna like delegate it to my like intern, the cash register girl, like, right?
Well, it's your manager, Kaya. You're supposed to delegate higher functions to her. It was the right call. He did the right thing, and McDonald's would be proud.
Yeah, he's a good manager.
Yeah.
That's so fucking dumb. Dude, criminals are so fucking dumb. My example that I always like to trot out in these conversations is the bind, torture, kill guy, Dennis Rader, where he used to like taunting the police, like fucking with them, literally leaving them letters saying, yeah, I killed this family and I strangled the babies. What are you gonna do about it, bitch? And one day he resurfaced after a hiatus and he left him another letter that asked, hey, we're in the age of computers now and this letter writing stuff is getting a little tedious. Can you cops tell me, could you possibly track me if I left you a message on a floppy disk? And the cops replied to him in an anonymous paper ad. Like it was cryptic, but it was directed at him because he left them instructions how to reply to him. So they did, and they said no. And he believed them. And then he left them a floppy disk in a fucking cereal box in some parking lot someplace. And the cops took it. And you know how we can just, inspect the file system and look at deleted files? Like sometimes there's literally just a folder called trash. And you double click it and you open it. And the guy had Word documents on it that had his real name in the metadata. That said something like last edited by Mr. Rader or Dennis. Something like that. And later at his court hearing, he was like, well, I thought the police would play fair with me. I believed them when they told me that they couldn't track me through a floppy drive. And the detective in charge of the investigation was like, but this isn't the game. You're killing people. We're trying to catch you. We're not going to play fair, you fucking douche. There's no rules here. But that's how dumb they are. He actually fucking took the cops' word for it. They just said, no way for us to find you. And he was like, good.
I've got you right where I want you now.
We can't mention all this kind of stuff as well without bringing up the classic Mr. Swirl.
Mr. Swirl.
Yep.
I knew it. Yeah, Mr. Swirl.
Mr. Swirl.
It's technology, I swear to you. Every time, this is what annoys me. I like watching crime documentaries too from time to time, but whenever they play the super scary music, and then Dennis Rader was a normal man with a normal family, no one suspected. Yeah, no one suspected him because we didn't have Ring cameras on every house. That's it. We didn't have cameras and we didn't have DNA evidence. One of the other things he did was he splooged on a fucking crime scene as he was murdering them. He jerked off. They had us come. And they couldn't tell who the murderer was because we didn't have DNA evidence. They had us come and spit and sweat all over the place, and they couldn't catch him because it wasn't invented yet.
Screaming that out.
You sound like one hell of a prosecutor, Kaya. They had his cum.
They got his cum.
They had his cum.
My only purpose as a prosecutor would be to like convince the jury that the criminal's too stupid to stand trial and just lock him up in the Arkham Asylum or something. And the Mr. Swirl thing, yeah, we didn't have the technology. That's the only reason he got away with it for so long. We literally didn't have the technology until some fucking dork and some FBI headquarters sat down and said, I wonder if I could reverse this Photoshop filter. And then he did. And bam, it's his face in the fucking photo.
Okay, for those that don't know Mr. Swirl, he was a pedophile who was taunting the officers and sent a photo of himself, but he distorted the image by swirling it. So he literally used like a preset swirl feature on like Photoshop or whatever and sent it in. It was his real face, and the cops unswirled it, and they just got a photo of him and arrested the guy. It's like fucking classic.
Were the pictures like child exploitation material? Like, was it him?
It was a picture of him. Yeah.
And he was a very proud and like, again, whenever criminals taunt the police, you know you're dealing with an idiot. He would basically just constantly brag on forums, from what I understand. If I'm recalling it correctly, he would be like, yeah, I'm never gonna get caught. How the fuck they gonna catch me? They're not smart enough. And he would just show his full body in all of the images and videos that he created, just abusing children. And again, one day they just caught him because one nerd sat down and programmed something. And that's it. It's technology. It's not easy to get away with crime anymore.
Yeah.
Not if you're a dummy.
But when you said they had his cum, like, do they actually store their cum? Like, is there an expiry date for cum that eventually they have to like throw it out because it's useless and they can't use it to identify?
I mean,
anymore?
I assume they keep it in an evidence locker somewhere, or at least the item. Like if if the criminal masturbated or spat onto a pillow, I assume they keep the pillow someplace to swab it later, right?
It's also probably accompanied by reports that are like, hey, the semen may be dried up and gone, but here's the tests we ran that proved it was on there.
I just meant for like identification.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, maybe the DNA sequence is still on file. Yeah, once you've got that sequence, then you can just chuck it.
I think also DNA evidence like degrades after a certain time. Like it's inadmissible because it just degrades and gets old and just you can't tell anymore whose it was. But
this might be a dumb question, but thinking about it now, let's say that cum, like they're trying to use it to figure out who the killer is. If you don't have anything of yourself in like the system already, how would they connect it? It's not like you can rebuild the person through their cum, right? Like you wouldn't be able to, like if it was your ejaculate there, Kaya, how would they connect that to you? They'd need to have you come in to test.
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, they can compel you to come in and test your DNA. They have that right, legally, lawfully speaking.
Well, can they force you to jack off?
They need to have the suspicion of you already, and if you were just nowhere around and
no I know, but in a lot of cases, DNA is used as just confirmation, like the final nail in the coffin of, we got this motherfucker. Also, back then, I don't know how the fuck it really worked, but nowadays,
there's not like a giant cum database.
System. No, there is. Back then there wasn't. Now there is. Everybody, I mean, 23andMe just had a gigantic data leak.
Oh, that's so true, actually.
That's different to cum.
No, it isn't. What are you talking about? It's your DNA. They can match your cum to your spit.
I'm talking about a giant cum database. Like they've collected all about cum and like entered it into a registry.
Okay, I don't know why you're obsessed with the cum parts. It doesn't matter. It's just the DNA we need.
Said
it's not like they're taking
cum.
like mugshots of your sperm.
You said they had his cum.
They had his cum, damn it. I want to see the Tom Cruise court drama where the trailer is him shouting at the judge, they had his cum, damn it. They had his cum.
You can't handle the truth. But no, I mean, again, 23andMe has deals with law enforcement. They fully legally sell all of your DNA data to law enforcement, so they have access to that. Have you ever given a urine sample to a doctor? The police can legally, completely finally just get that, subpoena your pee, your piss, your data that they have, everything. Yeah, ever gone to the gynecologist and given a vaginal swab? They can take that.
Ah, shit, my vaginal swabs are compromised. Fuck.
You guys don't get your vaginas checked?
Oh, damn it, I knew it was a mistake.
It's time for a bussy checkup.
No, but like that, my piss test is probably gone by now. It's been like 3 years since I've had a piss test.
Well, yeah, but the data is still stored. Like they still have the info on it.
I doubt it.
And Jackson, your data, the quote unquote data or DNA is everywhere. If you sit on a bus bench and one of your hairs happens to fall out, they can pick it up. They're completely allowed to pick it up.
Okay, maybe I just don't know how cum works. I would have thought.
Oh my god! Why are you so fixated on this?
Yeah, we watched educational films in 5th grade on it, Jackson.
It's just DNA.
No,
It's
but
not the cum
yeah,
part that's important.
okay. Well, that's the difference. I thought they matched the cum. Like if they had cum,
No,
if they
how
had
would you
cum
even?
on hand, they had to. Well, this was like, do they have to bring the guy in and like jack him off to get?
That's right, Jackson. That's what they do. It's like bullet hole analysis. They go, well, this is a thick, white, ropey one, and this one's kind of more thin and watery, so he couldn't have done it.
I thought they zoomed in on like the sperm or something. Like it looked the same or something. I don't know.
Compare the
Looking
sperm.
for a signature
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, he wrote his name in it.
Yeah.
But no, they can easily get your DNA. I don't know if you guys knew this, but your DNA is actually a contentious issue under the Constitution, where like several cases have been in front of the Supreme Court, to where, for example, let's say they arrest you for a suspicion you committed a crime. They cannot legally force you to enter your password into your phone to browse it, but they can compel you to use your fingerprint to unlock it. They can literally force you because your fingerprint is not considered private information because you already leave it everywhere. So you're not going to get around this. There's just no escaping the law, I'm afraid.
Wasn't that a big point of contention with Apple lawsuits where they were like, hey, we got a criminal's phone, we need you to open it, and they were like, no, we're not going to do it. That's privacy breach, we're not going to do it. And that was a whole hoopla.
It was a terrorist.
I
I know which case you're talking about. Yeah, it was a terrorist, and the law enforcement was saying, unlock this thing, it's a terrorist. He's like an objectively shitty person. Don't you want him caught? And they said, it was out of self-interest because Apple obviously doesn't want like a big public news event where they just hand out people's informations. And they said no. And I think, I could be wrong, but at the time they said even if we wanted to, we can't just unlock it. It's encrypted.
Right.
So I don't remember what exactly happened with that case, but Apple fought pretty hard.
Kaya, I have a hypothetical for you.
Jackson, before you do that, because we're going deep, do you mind if I just please get out the word of Helix mattress? For the love of God.
Oh, please do.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
please.
I just wanted to make sure.
Leave some DNA on that.
Yeah, I was actually about to say, do you think that if we do some DNA collection, we could find a good, healthy sample from a Helix mattress? And I know that would happen at my house with all the people who have stayed at my house, because number one, I keep meticulous DNA records of everyone who's been here just in case. You never know. But also, they've all slept on my guest Helix mattress that I keep around for a sleeping emergency just in case anyone needs it. I have had many people stay with me, friends and family, and every single one of them who has used that guest mattress from Helix Sleep has said that it's dang fucking comfortable. A very worthwhile purchase and all around just a great way to spend the night. Helix is going to offer 20 unique mattresses for you, including the award-winning Luxe Collection and the newly released Elite Collection. They've also got mattresses for big and tall sleepers, mattresses made for kids. They've got all sorts of different styles. You can pick your level of firmness, your level of comfort, all sorts of things. My girlfriend's dad, it was Christmas, and I said, you know what, sir? I'm going to buy you a Helix mattress. He needed a new bed, and I thought it was a great idea. I went on the website. I looked at all the different options. They have a lot of different ones to pick from. You can really customize what kind of mattress you want. Ship right to his door in a big box. You kind of just undo the whole thing, let it set itself up a little bit, and it's good to go, and it's great. And everyone I've ever seen use it loves it. They've also got extra spine support to give it some TLC, enhanced cooling features if you need it, if you sleep in a hot place like, I don't know, Florida, etc., etc., etc. 10 to 15-year warranty. They've got a risk-free 100-night trial. Send it back if you don't like it. But here's the important part. Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/official and use code HelixPartner20. It's their best offer yet and will not last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. That's 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. Go to helixsleep.com/official and used code HelixPartner20. And now that you've got a good night's sleep, you might wake up and you go, no, there's cum in my bed. Oh, if only I was wearing MeUndies to keep my DNA safe and out of the hands of the cops. whoever else might incriminate me, they might think I'm fucking Pedro Pascal again, and I just don't want that to happen. There is no reason to wear any other brand than MeUndies. They are buttery soft and comfortable. They have 5 different brands with they have many different styles and brands to choose from printed on them with tons of different fits. They've got anything you could possibly imagine in terms of underwear styles. They've got versatile loungewear that's going to keep you comfortable and cozy and safe. They've got sizes from extra small to 4XL. So if you're a typical American, they've got the size for you. Unmatched comfort with their signature fabric blends, and they are even sustainably sourced materials, and they work with partners that make sure to care for their employees. If you happen to have a lower body, and I'm going to wager most of you do, you're going to want to put MeUndies on it. It's the most comfortable thing that you could possibly wear down there. All 4 official boys wear MeUndies. We've confirmed this fact when we've changed in front of each other at various events and galas and balls like we often go to. It's just the thing that we do. And you can wear the same underwear that the official boys do by going to MeUndies.com/officialpod. You'll get 20% off your first order plus free shipping. That's going to be at MeUndies.com/officialpod, first 3 letters of podcast, for 20% off and free shipping. MeUndies, comfort from the outside in.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Anyway, continue. Just had to squeeze that in there before the
Go ahead, Jackson.
Yeah, my hypothetical, Kaya. Say you just killed someone and you had like a knife or whatever. You had evidence that you needed to get rid of. How do you think would be the best way for you to get rid of the knife? Like,
swallow it.
The evidence to make sure. Well,
I would immediately relinquish it at the nearest police station. Turn myself in.
Let's assume Kaya is not a clown circus or a circus clown or anything like that. He doesn't have the ability to swallow knives.
Big F.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. I didn't train for this at clown college. Come on.
So, Kaya, you would just completely give up immediately? You would think there was no way
he's
out?
a good Samaritan, Jackson. He wouldn't be able to handle the
Yeah,
guilt.
I'm a good citizen.
Yeah. Well, who did I kill?
Yeah, but wait, good question. Who did I kill? Was it like a self-defense situation, or did I just...
If I killed Hitler, Jackson, for example, if I killed Hitler, I'd hold the knife in the streets and go, "This is the blade that killed Hitler. Look, everybody."
No. Okay, so you can kill someone that deserves it. Like, I don't know, like, let's say Epstein's still alive at the time. You killed Epstein, but at the same time, it is still murder.
Okay, so I'm the U.S. government.
Yeah, how did the U.S. government get rid of their knife?
I see.
That they collectively
They didn't.
It wouldn't be that difficult to get rid of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knives are easier to get rid of than guns because the guns come with serial numbers that's actually accounted for. So if yours just goes lost for some reason, you'll have to have an explanation why. But a kitchen knife?
My point is that, no, if they found the knife, they would be able to tie it to you, definitely. So you have to make sure that this knife disappears completely. Like, for some reason, you bought a knife with a serial number that's, like, registered for some reason.
Is it GPS knife?
This knife belongs to Andrew.
Property of Andrew.
Yeah. Okay.
My favorite stabbing knife.
My favorite stabbing knife went missing right around that stabbing. I don't know what happened.
The same thing everyone would do, I assume. Like wipe it, or I don't know, just hold it over a freaking oven and fire for a couple of minutes so all the DNA gets burnt, and then you toss it. No,
Yeah.
and then you toss it. But you have to make sure that like your sweat isn't on it and whatnot.
The answer, just tossing it, is so simple, but yet police still find this evidence so often.
Because criminals are stupid.
Well, yeah, but it's also only the ones you hear about. They're not going to publicize like
they find the criminals that are stupid. If I had a knife and I needed to get rid of it, like one example you do a ton of things where you'll just get away with it. Drive somewhere that you would normally never go. Don't take anything that would track you, like a cell phone, and just throw it in a lake. How would they ever know to go to that totally random location I have no connection to and have never been to before? The problem is criminals are dumb. They go to the lake down the street from their house. and throw it away there, or they bring their phone,
not
which tracks
even.
them with GPS.
Remember, I always love talking about how fucking dumb criminals are, but like, they don't even throw the knife out. They just put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah, shit like
and then
that.
reuse it later. That's how
Stupid
fucking
shit.
dumb they are. They're like, and then they sit down on their like computer and they type in google.com how to clean my baby's blood off a knife so the police don't see it. Enter.
What was the case? It was the woman who I think strangled her boyfriend, or other way around. It might have been the boyfriend who strangled his girlfriend, and they looked at his Google search history, and it literally said, how long does it take to choke a person out to death? How long does it take for someone to suffocate? Like all in his Google history.
Well,
That's not a rare situation. This happens like
Yeah, it's not rare. Do you guys remember the Casey Anthony story? That one was a huge one back then. Do you remember Casey
Where
Vaguely.
she
Anthony?
left the daughter in the van
Vaguely.
and drowned her? Was
Yeah.
that one?
Well, it
She
wasn't
killed,
drowned.
She killed
Yeah,
her
she-
daughter.
she
You know, I think
killed her
it
daughter.
is implied that she killed her in the family pool. So yeah, maybe drowning.
Oh,
I
maybe
thought
I'm
it was. I
misremembering
thought
that,
it was
but-
she left her in the van and drove it in the river.
No, that's
No?
no.
Okay.
No. I think Andrew might be right because there was something with
I
her
don't
car,
remember
but I think
van.
it was because they found like DNA of the child in the car or something.
Hmm.
I don't know. Regardless, JCS does a good video on Casey Anthony if anyone wants to watch
Yeah,
that.
I could be
video.
thinking of something else. I think there was a high-profile case where they found like a van in a river with like a child corpse in it, and they were like, "Oh, well,
No,
that's bad."
That's
But
different.
anyway, the reason I brought that up is because in the Casey Anthony case, they had Google searches where she had like the most suspicious shit ever, and it for some reason it never led to anything. And I'm trying to find what exactly they were, but there's like articles about it on like what she searched and everything, which is ridiculous because she Googled exactly what we were just talking about. So, according to a forensic computer expert, she searched for terms such as ruptured spleen, internal bleeding, and neck breaking or something, and then
Mhm.
chloroform and all kinds of shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also acetone,
Jesus.
alcohol, chloroform again. And
Oh,
then
I-
she actually bookmarked some of these items.
Chloroform.
Favorite of them.
Bookmark the items.
Yeah, she bookmarked them too.
I found the list of stuff she looked up. Another good one is
Jesus.
making weapons out of household products. Is something she looked up.
What is she a robot? Like, even if you're looking for that information, why would you search it like that?
Oh man.
Because they're dumb.
No
People
idea.
don't know computers work.
I know
And,
they're
I mean,
dumb.
criminals
She got
are just
away with
dumb
it,
in
though.
general.
Well, no, she went to jail, didn't
No, Casey Anthony got away with it. She had her own little special not too long ago, actually. But no, if I remember correctly, she completely avoided jail time.
So she's like O.J. Simpson with a vagina. I just
Huh.
completely blatant, but got away with it. Is that the?
I'll double check, but I remember because it was a huge deal. My parents were outraged because they followed this case like this was like the first
No,
major
actually, I
case I
think
remember
you're
them
right.
being into.
I'm thinking about a girl who like killed her boyfriend and she was caught on camera doing it, and then she went to jail. It was another JCS video. I don't remember her name though.
Yeah, she has a true crime show on A&E.
Yep. On July 5th, 2011, Casey was found not guilty on the counts of first-degree murder, aggravated manslaughter of a child, and aggravated child abuse, but found her guilty on 4 through 7 for providing false info to law enforcement. So it looks like she was found guilty on like the lesser charges, but I don't think she ever saw jail time.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
she was ordered to pay money to the state.
Why? Why?
I don't know, a lying penalty. I don't know.
This is so much worse than you can imagine. Okay, you know how we talked about O.J. Simpson and we made fun of how he wrote a book called If I Did It? And we were like, OJ, you don't talk about it like that anymore. You don't do that anymore. Her show that came out in 2022, so only a couple years ago, is called Casey Anthony, Where the Truth Lies. And it's her telling the events of what happened through her own words. That's the stupidest thing she could ever do.
It's pretty new as well, because I remember that was kind of a big deal, that she did this heinous crime and then kind of becomes a celebrity for it and gets away with it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, isn't it great that she's probably made like hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yeah, God knows how much money she made selling this show to
A.
A&E. That's disgusting. That's despicable.
The true disgusting part is that like this was greenlit. This had to go through a chain of command over at A&E or whatever network, and like there had to be producers involved and people involved that were all happy to do it.
Anyone can publish a book. OJ can sit down with his little typewriter in his den and type up his story and then find some way to get it out there. Like anyone can do that. But to have a TV show on a major network, like, oh my God, how many people had to approve this? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Probably got a lot of views. That's the downside to the double jeopardy laws that the US has is, you cannot be tried for the same crime again. Once you're declared not guilty. That's good. But it also means that sometimes guilty people who, use loopholes to get out of the fucking law, they can just openly and in your face say, yeah, I did it. What are you going to do about it? You can't try him again. Or her, in this case.
Yeah.
So, according to ChatGPT, it says forensic controversy. The case involved disputed forensic evidence. The prosecution's claim of the smell of human decomposition in Casey's car and traces of chloroform were challenged. The defense argued that the forensic methods used were unproven and not widely accepted in the scientific community. What did they do? Pull out like a children's smellometer? How is evidence of chloroform not admissible?
A smellometer's a fucking great idea though. Like it just deduces smells and puts it into like a easy to understand thing.
Well, I'm just imagining like a children's Fisher Price smellometer that they brought into court and the defense just argued, Your Honor, please. That's how it sounds like. Man, it's actually crazy how a bad lawyer can fumble a case so bad.
Isn't that, I know, just
doubt.
one bad lawyer can completely ruin the entire thing. It is disgusting.
Yeah, well, think about how many like innocent people are in jail right now because their lawyers sucked ass or didn't care about their case or whatever. Like they were just public defenders or something, and they just didn't care.
Poor Pedro. There was also that case of, we're gonna do a whole true crime episode, I guess, today. You guys remember that YouTuber or Twitch streamer who he was live streaming a pre-recorded video as an alibi?
Yeah, I watched a thing on that a couple days ago.
Yeah, could you tell us about it? I only remember the headline.
So Charlie probably knows the details better because this is more kind of your wheelhouse. But he was a Twitch streamer who was planning to murder his girlfriend, and he had this whole plan where he was like, he gets on the bus, goes to her apartment, kills her, and then hops into an Uber and goes back and has this whole window in which he's going to do it. So he pre-recorded himself, quote unquote, streaming Grand Theft Auto, either Vice City or San Andreas. And he's like, at the beginning of the stream, he's being very strange. He's like, sorry, I can't read chat right now, guys. Whenever I launch it, it like crashes the stream and I just can't react to you guys at all. I'm just going to play the game and try to make some jokes and have a good time streaming and we'll figure it out. And while he's playing the game, things are just kind of weird. He's kind of like a little on edge, a little kind of, things just don't seem right. And he's making jokes about his girlfriend that at the time are just kind of like, okay, that's funny, I guess. But now that you know what happened, it's like, oh my God. So what he did is he played that live, that recording live, as if it were a live stream. And during the 6 hours that it was on, he went to his girlfriend's house and killed her. And it's really fucked up because he timed this so elaborately. During his stream, a photo of the James Bond film No Time to Die plays on the stream at around the exact moment he got to his her apartment and killed her. Like, he planned the whole thing out meticulously. It was fucking disgusting.
Wait, so he left that.
So
what was the significance of the James Bond thing? Just a play on words?
Well, Andrew was just explaining that. How premeditated,
yeah. He was just flexing. It's a joke.
He was literally flexing on the fact that he lined everything up. Yeah.
They're idiots. Criminals are idiots. They feel like flexing about their crimes. Like, hey, yeah, look at me. I got away with it. And then they get caught because of it. So how did this guy get caught? I assume, let me guess, did he drive his car with his phone there?
That I don't remember.
No, he took the bus.
He took the bus and then took an Uber back.
If I remember correctly, it was a combination of things. I think he got picked up on I think he got picked up on camera at some point.
He did.
Here, I'll look it up real quick. This was back in
Oh.
like the early 2023, and I can't quite recall the specifics around how he got caught.
I remember one thing that helped him get caught. He was caught on camera
God.
a couple times. He was caught on public CCTV, and the bus driver that picked him up noted that it was odd that he was wearing gloves, like just suspicious looking gloves, and the same gloves were caught on him on camera in the footage.
Guys, you want to hear the dumbest criminal thing yet? Here. At his court hearing Thursday, prosecutors claimed McCullagh, that's his name, of concocting a sophisticated, calculated, and cool-headed plot before adding he was capable of deception beyond imagination. And here's what he did. McCullagh also allegedly left his cell phone in his girlfriend's house
That's
after
right.
her murder in an effort to record audio in the home and to figure out whether or not they suspected him in her stabbing death. He not only took his phone there, he left it.
No, but he was one step ahead, you see. He was trying to listen to the police so that he would know if they were onto him. That's
Yeah, dumb.
actually
The
genius.
police. This isn't a movie. Like Sherlock Holmes isn't standing over her corpse, going, "Oh, McCullagh did this. I suspect him." They're sitting in a fucking boring office someplace, drinking coffee.
No, wait, did they show up and like look around and see the phone on the floor or whatever, wherever it was hidden? It's just like connected to, like, it's called his own phone, like another phone or whatever. Like, it just says his name on it, like a call, and he's just listening on the other end. Is that how he was recording it, or was he recording a different way?
It
probably
doesn't
doesn't say,
specify,
right?
but I assume he just turned on the voice recorder thing, the app, and just left it there, maybe to get it back later. Maybe he did join a Discord call or something with himself. But, I mean, it is the dumbest thing to leave a fucking cell phone at the scene of a crime.
Absolutely. But did he think that they weren't going to like tear the place apart, like looking at stuff, if she was murdered there?
Dude, you just know he just put it in like a fucking flower pot or under the couch or something.
Upside down.
Yeah, he just put it next to the like couch cushions or something, slid it in between.
Oh my god. Okay, so Chad is saying the phone thing happens like a week after the murder. So he went back to the scene of the crime. It's like a joke meme.
Wait,
So
so
he
she
went
was
back.
dead for a week and he got away with it and then he just had to go back?
Yeah. Dude, if you don't get picked up after a week of a fresh murder, they're probably not suspecting you.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I don't know about that.
Well, okay, they can suspect you very long later as well, of course. I'm just saying.
Well, they probably didn't know she was murdered.
Oh, like for a week.
Yeah. But then that becomes really hard to keep your alibi straight. If that's your girlfriend, how do you go a week without just nothing? You know, not checking in with her, not noticing something's wrong, not anything. And go, oh, yeah. Oh, she died a week somehow and I didn't know.
You do a week-long subathon stream.
Yeah. I was marathoning Star Trek The Next Generation, honey. I'm sorry. I didn't check in on her.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just reading about the most recent updates. So he's, as of January 12th, he is pleading not guilty to the murder. So his trial is September of this year.
So is he in jail or did he post bail?
It doesn't say in the BBC article here.
It always blows my
Fucking
mind how
crazy.
long it takes for justice to be found. Like, you can have the guy and
Yeah.
it's like 4 years before the court trial or whatever. It's such a like
I know.
big
It's
time gap.
outrageous, right? Especially in
Yeah,
one that's so cut
bureaucracy.
and dry like this.
Well, even if it's not, like, what happens to the people that are innocent and then they've just got to sit in jail for like 4 years waiting for their chance to plead their innocence if they can't like afford bail or whatever?
Nothing. You suck dick. That's
yeah,
it.
you get fucked. Yeah.
This is why people think that Chris Chan was innocent. Like, Chris Chan openly bragged about fucking his own mother to people in private. Like, very, very clearly he did. But they released him after 2 years in jail because even though he was guilty, he had already served the maximum time that he would have gotten anyway, even if they did find him guilty for incestuous sex. So they released him because the judge said, well, he's been in jail 2 years awaiting his trial anyway, so time served. And people confuse that still to this day with complete innocence, which isn't true. But yeah, that happens too. I guess at the very least, the time you do serve just waiting for your trial is counted towards your maximum sentence that you would have.
Yeah, I know.
gotten
I know.
anyway.
If you like serve 2 years in like the courthouse jail or whatever it's called, just the small time jail. Once you're found guilty, they subtract that time off your total sentence, so you don't have to reserve 2 years or whatever.
But if you're found innocent, you're just out of time, right?
Yeah, what
You
happens?
don't get anything.
Do you don't get paid? Like,
You can sue, but it usually
Yeah, you can sue.
Yeah.
it's not a lot.
No. I mean, for you to be able to sue, you also have to prove that it was somehow unlawful or that you were treated outrageously illegally. If everything is just going by the books, it's just bureaucracy, baby. You know, you sit in jail for years just waiting for your fucking trial. Too bad.
You
Shouldn't have been
also
poor.
can never get that time back. Fuck
Nope.
you.
yeah, like if
Fuck you,
if I had to
suck
choose,
dick.
if I could choose between two years of my life and like I don't know $200,000 or whatever they give you for that shit, you better believe that I'm choosing the 2 years every single time.
You're in a fortunate enough position that you can, man. Some people are so fucking destitute that they'd say, yeah, I'll trade 2 years of my life to not be $200,000 in debt.
True.
Yeah. It's the system's fucked all ways, you know?
Again, or you get accused of a random crime. Imagine just waking up as John Doe.
I thought you were going to say John Wick, and I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
You wish. No, you're John Doe. You're the loser couch potato. And you log on to Facebook, and all of a sudden there's people threatening to murder you because they think you committed a terrorist attack.
See, now
on
I
a
really wish I
Boston
was John
Marathon.
Wick. Then I'd say, bring it on.
That's
Yeah.
insane. What people get away with. Let me see. What other silly crimes have been committed lately?
Well,
That
why would-
Twomad guy is dead. Did you guys want to talk about,
Go ahead.
well, just silly crimes? I was going to say, did any of you have any idea about who Twomad is? Is that interesting at all to the
that
audience?
happened
Or
this week.
does nobody care?
People care. It's a pretty
Well,
big news.
yeah, definitely. It's just I don't know what there is to talk about. That shit is just like really
It's
Yeah.
awful
It's-
across the
Yeah.
board.
it's sad. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it except he was a YouTuber. He didn't seem mentally well. He OD'd, and then some guy went on Twitter and called him a pedophile rapist.
Yeah, that's about it.
What's the story?
No, you got it pretty much. Like
Yeah.
he was just
That's like
Okay.
the cliff notes.
It's just it's a really dense, layered story of really awful things, and there's just a lot of bad things that happen. But that's the gist of it. Yeah,
plus there's also so much information that it's hard to wade through. Like I don't know for sure if that person is being honest with his account of what Twomad did and stuff, but it's very clear to me, at least, that Twomad was a very mentally ill person just from his actions over the last few years, as well as his messages to people. Like, he definitely wasn't sane. So yeah, it's hard to know what he's guilty of or anything like that. Regardless, I don't know. I don't know if it was the right time to immediately start talking about that stuff as soon as he passed away. I don't know. It feels kind of.
I think it was literally like 20 minutes, wasn't it? Or something like that. Immediately, this guy went on his Twitter account and said, yeah, Twomad was a pedophile rapist and the evidence is coming. The thing is, I think he followed that up with another tweet saying, oh, you know, he did all this awful stuff and it's public record. If look it up yourself if you want. And people did, and they couldn't really find anything. I don't know. I could be mad. Wrong. I mean, not mad. I don't want to be too mad.
you're mad you didn't find it.
Freudian slip. I'm actually him. People are saying we had him on the show and reminding me that I've actually talked to this person, but it was apparently episode 127, so like years ago. It was in 2019.
Many
I'm sorry,
years
I don't
ago by
remember
this
much
point.
now.
It's actually crazy how many people have come on the show and
Yep.
died. Like, I figured it'd be like 40 years in the future until we had our first like podcast guest death, and we'd be like, oh my god, remember when that person came on, stuff like that. But it's happened like 5 times now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, our
I'm
Epstein
telling you,
episode
it's-
was really good though.
I can only think of 2 times that it's happened. It was
Well,
this,
I can think of
and
at
then-
least 3 times.
this makes it 3 that I
Yeah.
can recall.
Oh, John
There is
McAfee.
John
I forgot about
McAfee.
John McAfee, the
Yeah,
conspiracy
John
guy.
McAfee, the schizophrenic, and Twomad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All kind of similar in terms of like behavior and stuff towards the end. Eccentric people, let's say. Yeah. I don't remember the Twomad episode though at all, really. I don't remember Twomad as
I gotta be honest, I don't even
just
remember any episode before number 300. Like, it's all the blur. I don't remember jack shit about who's been on.
okay, thank God. Thank you. I thought I was dumb because I didn't remember.
Like, I'll hear a name and I'll go, wait, that sounds so familiar. Why do I know this person? I'll scroll through the list and I'll go, oh yeah, I talked to them. I don't remember that at all. I don't remember a single word I spoke to them. Just done so many episodes of the show, can you blame me?
so many guests as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it for 7 years now, or more than that.
Yeah, it's fair to forget an episode or two.
Or
It's
300.
completely fair. Or 300. Well, I mean, at this point, again, I call it the official curse whenever one of our guests dies. Or does something like creepy that I can't recall what guest it was, but like...
Oh, there's been a few of them as well. Like Sky Does Minecraft was one of them who turned out to be a bit of a wild,
God, yeah.
Yeah.
wild cannon.
I didn't hear you. Who?
Oh, also
Sky Does
Cryotic. We had
Minecraft.
Oh,
we also had Cryotic on, and,
Right.
and Cry was a creep.
Which one was the one that like force-fed his dog Monster Energy drinks? And like put it in a
I don't,
cage.
yeah,
with
you were
mirrors all
talking to me
around.
about that the other day. And I don't remember who. Was it
No,
Sky?
that's Sky Does Minecraft. Yeah, that was Sky Does Minecraft.
Yeah.
Oh, even more reasons to dislike the guy.
Yeah, no, he's done some horrible things, apparently. There's a whole great documentary on Sky Does Minecraft from Jay Aubrey. It goes over a lot of bad stuff.
Did you see, Charlie, the last thing I saw about Sky Does Minecraft? What's his actual name? As Adam, isn't it? Adam?
Yeah, and he goes by Net Nobody.
Did you see the most recent news that he bought StoryFire? Or he's the CTO of StoryFire? Or something to do with StoryFire?
Wait,
You didn't see it?
What StoryFire?
No.
I thought I would have told you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay, so give people a rundown on StoryFire, Charlie.
StoryFire is like, you guys remember VidMe? You remember back in the VidMe era?
How
the
could we
VidMe
forget our
era.
first
Yeah.
sponsor?
That I remember.
Our
First sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I remember.
StoryFire was like if VidMe tried to be like an app only for like YouTubers. So it was like this video sharing platform that was made by McJuggerNuggets, and it was all about like
He's a YouTuber.
we're gonna give a better deal to creators. Come post all your shit on StoryFire. It's gonna be the biggest thing ever. It's lit. Get on over to StoryFire. It's gonna blow up. And it never did. It was like a really, really poorly made platform all across the board. And for a while, McJuggerNuggets posts would always be about like StoryFire, like breaking all these records and shit. And then eventually it just got really sad. It's like, okay, now it's not making any money. And it's like not doing well. And then Boogie would chime in occasionally. He'd be like, yeah, so I'm on StoryFire now.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that it's going really bad.
Oh no.
So I'm looking at StoryFire still exists. I'm looking at the website right now, and like the trending this week is a video from 3 months ago that has 200 views, 23
Fuck
views,
yeah.
37 views, 46 views.
YouTube's dead. That's it. It's over. StoryFire's the way.
Then there's a whole lit category, and the videos in that category have literally like no views. Like no views. It just says no views. So this isn't going great.
I have never heard of this website.
You
Yeah,
have.
so we
We've
got
made
some-
fun of it before.
Yeah.
You heard.
It got sold. It got sold or something. I think McJuggerNuggets sold it, and then now Sky Does Minecraft or Net Nobody or whatever his name is now part owner or he's like the CTO or something. He's involved in it. He made a really weird like cryptic Twitter video with his girlfriend, I think, where they're sitting in like a park talking about it. And they're trying to be like really mysterious about it. And like it was meant to be like this really hype moment when they announced that they're the CTO of StoryFire. It was really cringe.
There are huge YouTubers on here. I'm seeing Leafy. I see Keemstar.
Wang is on there, Mudahar is on there, Bo Blacks.
That's all from the
Boogie.
very beginning of StoryFire.
Yeah,
they just got their shit
beginning.
reserved.
If you go to their channel, none of them have uploaded a video in 4 years. Literally all of them. I'm just going through all of them.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Mucha stopped 2 years ago.
I'm pretty sure all of them are also like friends with McJuggerNuggets, or were at the time anyway.
Yeah.
Like there was some drama between Boogie and McJuggerNuggets. Everyone knows that Boogie had that whole crypto money period of his life where he made like $800,000 in crypto, and apparently that ended his friendship with McJuggerNuggets in drama because McJuggerNuggets told him to keep holding on to it, and he took McJuggerNuggets' advice, and then he lost all his money. the crypto crash happened, and now he's like really
that's the
vindictive
famous
towards
friend?
McJuggerNuggets. Yeah, that's the friend.
He was like vaguely blaming in the. Was it an apology video? No, the begging video where he was like, I need money, you
I
guys,
took some
please
bad
give me
financial
money. And he
advice.
said, yeah, from a friend. So it's confirmed?
Former friend. Yeah, no, that's definitely him. Yeah, he talks about
Former friend.
That's so good.
McJuggerNuggets is also the person that advised Boogie to get a Tesla as well during the whole Tesla arc. So there's a lot of connections here. I fucking
I'm
love
surprised he didn't
But
sell this site to Boogie.
I could be getting this wrong, but apparently McJuggerNuggets was also hateful towards Boogie because Boogie brought hookers to a party or something like that that they were hosting.
I'm sorry. I'm just remembering the fucking Boogie documentary when Kaya said he should sell the site to Boogie. I'm imagining a section in it where Boogie's like, well, now I bought this whole StoryFire thing, so now I'm even more in debt. I have to sell more of my magic cards to keep this StoryFire platform going. It's going to compete with YouTube. It's going to be huge. I want to see the world where Boogie bought StoryFire.
Well, you're basically seeing what the world would still look like if that were the case.
True.
You'd be in the same position.
Very true.
It legitimately couldn't be worse.
Has anyone kept up with the Locale Live podcast that Boogie and who is it, Wings of Redemption and Keemstar are doing?
Vaguely? I only
Not
really see it when you send it to me.
I've only
pay
watched a
attention
few
to 'em.
episodes. Yeah, I think it started off strong, but now it's kind of like waning because the whole Locale aspect is kind of like, you know, falling off. Once you're used to Boogie and Wings talking normally and stuff like that, it's like the same every episode. It's just like the whole woe is me kind of thing where Boogie just kind of talks about his childhood and stuff like that. So I'm sure it doesn't have a long lifespan.
I saw drama about Boogie threatening to quit. Or no, not Boogie.
No, it was Wings.
One of the other
yeah.
fat guys. Yeah, Wings. And Ethan Ralph was trying to throw his hat in the ring. But
Yeah, I did see that. I did
either.
watch. Did you not watch it? I did watch that one. I watched when what's his name? Ethan Ralph came on because Ethan Ralph just shows up in the fucking podcast out of the blue and starts fucking screaming at Boogie and Wings about how they're
Wait, he was
both like.
actually on?
Yeah, he was on. You should watch it. I think you'd like it. It was very funny.
Ralph has, in the meantime, by the way, Ralph has burnt through like 2 more women since he got married last year. His wife has left him, as you know, and since then he has been dating just a woman in Latin America, and they broke up. He's still doing his thing. He lost a bunch of weight because I think he's on Ozempic, but I assume his like prescription ran out or something because he's back on drugs now.
What's the update on Ozempic? Is that still going strong? Has there been litigation on that? Like, it's just still there?
It's a miracle drug.
No, this is still the hotness right now.
Holy shit. Wow. I would have thought that something big would have came out from it if it's like this secret miracle weight loss drug.
But something big is coming out of it. Everyone's on it now and losing a ton of weight.
I meant more government like overreach or reaction in the news or something, you know.
Yeah, because government is always about stopping big pharma. No. What
True.
they're doing is
Okay,
they're
fair.
researching the drug because they found, oh, this actually works and people want to be on it. Okay, let's actually formalize it because Ozempic is not a weight loss drug. Let's make an actual weight loss drug based on this thing. It has a name I forget about. I don't know what's it called.
Is it Wegovy? Are you talking about Wegovy?
I think so. Yeah. That'll probably be a thing. And then, I don't know, 10, 20 years from now, we'll have commercials going, have you or anyone you know been affected by Ozempic? Call now, 555, fuck lawyers, blah, blah, blah.
You think
they're
all
gonna
of the
start
fat
lawsuits,
activists,
probably.
like the fat is beautiful people, are going to immediately, as soon as this becomes like a proven thing or whatever, do you think they're immediately going to hop on the Ozempic train and lose all that weight? Like, will there be no more fat people? Or do you think people will still cling on to their fat? Some people.
There's always going to be delusional people with some sort of, I don't know what the thing you would call it is, failing of self-control that want to, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. They want to put it on something else or rally to make it positive. Like there's always going to be a group like fat activists where there's something bad that they're doing, but they want to spin it into a good thing, you know? Something unhealthy or alternative.
That's currently I think they currently do that because losing the weight is too much work. But now that we've got a drug that basically just sheds the weight or whatever, do you think that they're going to be like hypocritical and be like, all right, I'm hopping on the Ozempic train immediately?
I'm sure some will.
I could see a lot of them doing that because it's easier to do that than to try to lose weight legitimately. I mean, that's why a lot of them are fat activists, because they don't want to put in the work to lose the weight or maintain a healthier lifestyle. They'd rather just make people, proud of who they are, or go, yeah, that's fine. Do whatever you want. You're good.
As fat and miserable as they are. Yeah. I mean, you guys remember when Adele lost a bunch of weight?
Oh, yeah. People took that as a personal betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
They acted like she was like a race traitor to the fat humans on Earth. Like, how dare you cross us and
We
go to
made
the other
you.
side?
Yeah.
It was so insane. And yeah, I assume if you're like a fat activist, what's that woman who basically kickstarted the HACE movement, the health at every size? She's like a model.
Catalin Pause, I think. Right?
Haviland? No.
I know Cat Paws. I've got her Wikipedia pulled up now. She was a big fat studies and fat activist, and she died 2 years ago. She was only 42.
For some reason, the only fat woman person name that I remember is Jenny Craig, and I don't even think she's fat. I think she's just known for making stuff that makes you not fat, right?
Jenny Craig, yeah, wasn't she? She was the fitness lady,
dude,
right?
Yeah.
Jenny Craig was huge back in the 2000s.
No, she was actually fat beforehand, but then she made that brand and lost a lot of weight, I think.
She was ginormous. That was a huge everywhere company back years ago. Now you never hear about it. What happened?
Wait, maybe she wasn't fat. I don't remember.
Maybe she got fat again. I don't know.
I just don't think that they pivoted to the weight loss kind of sector as efficiently as other people did.
This happened last year. On May 2023, Jenny Craig announced to employees via email that the company will wind down operations, lay off all employees, and possibly switch to an e-commerce model. So as of last year, they just basically shut doors entirely. Who knows what happened? What the fuck?
Yeah, they were massive. I remember my grandmother was like eating Jenny Craig food constantly.
The commercials were everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. It was like the go-to joke for talking about weight loss and dieting. Like, oh, are you on Jenny Craig? Like, Jesus Christ. I haven't heard this name in so long, and yet back in the day, it used to be everywhere. What the fuck?
Ubiquitous.
Yeah. Holy shit.
People stopped caring about losing weight, I guess. I don't know.
When Ozempic came out and destroyed them. Yeah.
No, it's probably just better alternatives or something, especially now that everything's free to access online. People probably just get all their weight loss information from YouTube or Google or blogs or something.
True. Weight Watchers is still around, though. But, you know.
Yeah, Jenny Craig was like Weight Watchers or whatever it's called. It's like just food delivery service, I'm pretty sure. Right?
It was a weight loss, weight management, and nutrition company. So the fact it says nutrition, they sent you frozen meals, and you would stick to a certain menu and diet to lose weight.
Yeah. They sent you like a set.
Who the fuck still does Weight Watchers? That definitely got killed off by the internet.
It's still around. It's maybe not as big as it was, but Weight Watchers is still a thing. you still see it every now
I
and
don't
then.
understand how it couldn't be a thing, or why it wouldn't be a thing in the world of like HelloFresh and stuff like that. That's basically the same concept. Like, why would that stop being attractive to people?
Because Ozempic, I guess.
We have Ozempic now.
Yeah. People will
You don't need to eat healthy.
Yeah, that's what people's meal boxes are now. It's just full of Ozempic.
People do anything in their fucking power to lose weight and look healthy and be fit, except put in the actual work needed to do it. They will take any cheap, easy option. Look at all the look at all the fitness machine commercials.
Gyms are often well known to be empty. No one ever tries to go work out or anything
gyms
like
in
that.
January and February see a record spike in attendance because people have New Year's resolutions and they go, for the new year, I'm gonna get a fit body. I'm gonna finally go to the gym, and they drop off and nosedive over the months because they just don't want to commit to it. Look at weight machine commercials and fitness machine commercials. You have a dude or a hot lady who are super attractive, and they use a machine that's just a super gimmick. It's like, oh, I just roll in a circle for my abs. I sit on this chair and circular spin on it, and it tweaks my abs. It obviously does very little to worse than a regular fitness routine, but people know they can sit on their ass in it and watch television while spinning around in a circle. So they buy it, and they go, this will make me in shape, and then they don't use it.
Andrew, you might remember, you're old enough. When I was little, we had commercials for like
Bowflex.
electric belts that would, no, not even. Electric belts that you would put around your tummy, and it would zap you very, very mildly.
Yeah.
Just enough to stimulate your muscle. And they would like have these attractive people with six packs in the fucking commercial, as if they had achieved that figure using their belt devices.
Yeah.
That was great.
Have you seen the stock footage? It was a big thing in the 50s and 60s. They thought that you could vibrate the pounds off. So they would get these belts attached to motors that would just shake the shit out of your stomach really, really fast.
That was in the Brendan Fraser movie Blast from the Past. That's where I learned about that.
Yeah, and that was a thing people believed for a long time. You could just sit there, put it on your stomach, and it would just shake away the fat and tone up your muscles because it's jiggling it. It's the same scam science behind the shake weight. You just shake it, and the force from the vibrations tones your muscles. And it's like, no, fucking pick that thing up and do some curls.
Weight, you actually have to shake it.
Yeah. At least you're doing something with the shake weight. These were like giant machines that would just rupture your body over and over again. People will do anything in their power to lose weight other than actually committing to what is proven to do it. It's insane.
And now they don't need to. The miracle, they played the smart game. They waited until science caught up and gave them the tools to be as lazy as possible with Ozempic.
True. Very true.
God damn it.
Finally.
Isn't that beautiful?
We just need one of those for muscle building, where you just get an injection and it gives you like massive bulging muscles. You don't have to work out anymore.
It is Syntho.
No, you still have to work out with those.
Do you remember the cartoon Aqua Teen Hunger Force on Adult Swim?
Yeah.
There was a machine that they had in one episode that Carl gets in, and it grabs his arms and legs, and it forces him to work them out. And he's trapped in it, I think, for like 3 days. And he's in horrible pain. But when it's over, he gets out and he's just super ripped and looks amazing. And I always wish we had that as a kid. I thought it would be such a convenient idea. When do we invent that?
Probably on the way, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any invention that's off the table. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
One day.
I'm sure eventually. I don't know. Do you guys think they'll ever put Ozempic in the water supply? Just because we're at the breaking point of everyone being so fucking fat, we just put it in the tap water.
Well, actually, wait. You would keep shedding weight.
It reaches a good intersection of the market because it's a diabetes medicine too, right? We have a ton of diabetics. We'll hit two birds with one stone.
Mainly.
Yeah, if there's like no downsides, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Just a miracle.
Well, I mean, there's gonna be downsides. There's already downsides of people suing the company from like, I don't know, just shitting themselves to death. You see these stories. The only good thing that I've heard about it, credit where credit is due, is that it apparently does help with addictions as well, like other addictions, as in, you know, if it's between heroin and Ozempic, yeah, take the Ozempic, I guess, if nothing else has ever helped you. and you keep relapsing, that's good. But if just you can't put down the fork, might not be a good idea to keep popping pills for it. You'll pay for it eventually.
Yeah, but maybe like in 10 years, it's like all smoothed out and it's perfect and it's just like a miracle drug. And then we can put it in our water supply and everyone's just like ripped and fit.
I don't think we'll ever have a miracle drug.
They might have a celebrity spokesman soon. Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy Osbourne's wife, said, "I'm through with the weight loss and all the cosmetic stuff. I'm injecting myself with Ozempic, and I lost 42 pounds in 4 months."
Yep, that sounds about. The results on Ozempic are actually unreal. Like,
Jesus,
at least it's honest.
Impressive.
That's 10 pounds a month. That's insane. That's incredible.
All right, that's our endorsement for Ozempic for the week.
Yeah,
go try it out.
If you have some, share it. Let us have some.
Yeah.
You know what makes me upset, though, before we get off Ozempic and wrap? From everything I've read, there are so few side effects with it that it's not even like a risky thing to do. Like, I'm not trying to promote it because I really don't like the idea of that, because I feel like there might be really long-term consequences. But right now, from what I've read, the most severe side effects a lot of people are seeing are like diarrhea and nausea. So not anything too bad, really.
Isn't it crazy that we can say diarrhea isn't too bad when it used to kill people just like 100 years ago?
Well, it wasn't just a bout of diarrhea, Jackson. It was a full-blown disease, and you still can die from that disease today.
Yeah. No, people die from diarrhea 100 years ago. Just
not just like one
woman.
No one what the fuck? It wouldn't
Hold
like
on.
they wouldn't just go have diarrhea one time and die. It was like a persistent diarrhea from the disease.
Jackson, according to people.com, mom dies after using weight loss injectables to slim down before daughter's wedding. I couldn't save her, husband says. And she took Ozempic and Saxenda. And she died of acute gastrointestinal illness, which means she shit herself to death.
She died of... Wait, I should be laughing. But she died of diarrhea, literally. So it's still happening now?
Why would you say
that? Yeah. Yes, this is from 2023, from November.
It's
crazy.
Happening. Man,
Like
I just had diarrhea
like
the other week for the first time in like maybe like 8 years. And it was awful, but
Hey,
when it was
Jackson.
happening, I was like, holy shit, people would die from this.
Jackson, can I fuck your brain a little bit here? You're wowed by the idea of dying of diarrhea, right?
Yeah.
That's dysentery. You ever hear of dysentery?
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, that's shitting yourself disease. It kills you. Killed you pretty
Oh,
often back
wait,
in the
shit.
pioneer times.
Hold on. Listen. She died of the opposite issue. In September, the FDA issued a warning that Ozempic can lead to a life-threatening condition known as ileus, a type of bowel obstruction where either sections or the entirety of the intestines become obstructed. So she didn't have diarrhea. It was the opposite. Her tummy exploded inside.
Oh,
that is
because she couldn't shit.
Can't they do something about that? Like, can't they just like surgically go in and remove it?
Can't they like Sesame Street puppet her and put a hand up there and swirl it around and pull it out?
Ew. Get a bunch of big burly men to like reach in and just pull out the shit.
Oh yeah. That sounds so satisfying when it's done. Holy shit.
New pimple popping kind of videos.
Yeah. Shit
also known as stomach paralysis.
What?
It says stomach paralysis, which the Mayo Clinic says prevents your stomach from emptying properly. Yeah, that's not good.
That's terrifying. That sounds like a terrifying way to go. I hate anytime I'm constipated or whatever. It happens very rarely, but anytime I am, it's like the most terrifying shit because I'm like, is this gonna happen? Is it gonna come out, or am I screwed? Like, what happens?
Every time you eat?
No, I said every time I get like constipated. Like I said it happens rarely, but when it does, it's like Jesus. Am I going to give myself like a hernia, or am I going to prolapse myself trying this at the moment? Like, what do I do?
I have the same thing, except with aneurysms. Like, once in a while you have to push really, really hard.
Oh,
and you can feel the blood pressure
bulging
in your brain. Yeah, you like, oh shit, am I gonna pop a vein in my head and die?
Yeah, and then they find you fucking dead on the toilet with a giant fucking shit in the bowl.
Yeah, I feel that exact anxiety all the time when I have like an illness and it's at the worst of it, like especially the flu. And I just think people die of the flu all the time. My body just hurts.
This is it.
I feel bad. Once I go to bed, I'm not waking up. That's the end. I'm done. I think that all the time. It
How
sucks.
do you even sleep like that?
I don't know. I just pass out and wake up and go, thank
What do you
God.
mean? How do you sleep? Your body is so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus there's some level of like acceptance. If you're that miserable, there's like some level of acceptance, like, okay, well, at least it'll be while I'm asleep. Let's just get asleep and then it'll just happen. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay, one more. I get that now when I play VR, Andrew. I bought a MetaQuest 3 and I get crazy motion sick to the point where I have to lie down and I have all the symptoms of like a deadly flu, the cold sweats, feeling like I have to vomit. And it's the weirdest thing because I never get car sick. I've never known anything like this before where I like put something on for 20 minutes and all of a sudden I feel nauseated to the point of puking. And it sucks because I really like the thing. Yeah, I feel sick.
I had the same thing for a while when I was getting real deep and invested in VR. And VR seasickness is like a real documented thing. People talk about it all the time where it just happens. And what it is your body really hates moving without having a sense of direction. And it's basically your body thinks it's been poisoned and your system is like fucked and something's wrong. So you're moving in the game, but your body, actual body movements are not correlating to it. So it's like, oh, something's wrong. My nervous system is fucked. And you kind of just have to get used to it. I read a lot of people who were like, yeah, the first 2 or 3 weeks, it sucks, but then you get used to it and now it doesn't bother me. But it's a real thing that's really common. Charlie got it too. And I used to get it every now and then where you just get really seasick in VR.
It fucking
For me, it's really bad, and I agree with you. I think, from what I understand, it's like your body really doesn't like it when your eyes are out of sync with the rest of your senses.
That's part of it, yeah.
Like, okay, I'm in VR chat jumping on a person that I'm harassing and laughing at, but I'm not jumping in real life. It's making me feel sick. My, whatever the little, I don't know, sensors you have in your ear aren't feeling that I am moving at all, and yet I'm running through the place, so that made me really sick. Pavlov and VR chat are the two that I've tried so far, and they make me very sick. Yeah. Beat Saber though is fine, since thankfully you're stable.
You're static.
Pavlov fucked me up real bad because everyone's jumping around spastically and you have to aim a gun and all that shit. And I could play Pavlov for maybe 10 minutes and then I had to stop. That was one of the worst ones. That one sucked.
And it sucks because it's so much fun. Like, this is awesome. I want to play this for hours and hours and hours with my friends, and I can't because 10, 20 minutes, I'm done. I'm just sweating on the couch, like, trying to hold back vomit. Yes, I am a pussy. I never knew. Okay. Little
There's nothing you can do about it. It's not like he could just get tougher.
He's a pussy.
He's built that way.
Tougher. Maybe Ozempic will cure your pussiness.
No, but Charlie, I always thought motion sickness is like a weak gene. Like, how do you get pukey from a car ride?
What is wrong with you? You fucking deserve it.
I know. It's karma. And now for the first time in my life, I'm like, oh, I get it. I guess, kind of. Like, but it's still crazy to me that like something you do for 10 minutes and it knocks me out for hours. Like, I feel sick for 2 hours afterwards. I feel really, really fucking shitty.
Yeah, it's just something.
I love it when Kaya discovers new things about himself. Like he's been shitting on this thing forever, calling people pussies and stuff like that for like 20 years, and then he gets to experience it.
Was I the pussy the whole time?
Maybe now you have a bit of empathy.
Yeah, when Half-Life Alyx first came out, it offers you. It offers you 4 different ways to control it. And it's like, the main ones are you can teleport around or you can actually walk around. And I remember I played the first half of the game with teleport. And then one day I said, I'm going to try walking. I'm going to try the locomotion. And I played 15 minutes and then I had to sit down for an hour. And I was like, that's it. It was worth it. But
that's exactly that is exactly what happened to me with LA Noire VR. I tried to do like the walking around where you put your arms to your side and you walk forward. instant nausea.
Yep.
Instantly.
It's not good.
Ugh.
It's not fucking good.
See, that's crazy to me. It has never happened to me before, so I'm not used to this feeling. I wish there was some form of like pass-through, maybe, where you could still reorient yourself during the game and your brain could get the visual cues of.
They do. They only bring it up when you hit the boundary, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you're playing Pavlov, it's not going to show you that you're right in front of your desk and
wait,
in
no,
your own
you've got the
room
Quest
and
3.
whatnot.
You've got the Quest 3. Just tap the side of the headset and it'll show you pass through.
But I still want to be able to play the game during. I know that wouldn't
Oh.
work, and how the fuck could they possibly make
how would that work?
Like,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, maybe picture in picture. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
my brain, I guess, doesn't work that way. Where my eyes cannot be out of sync with what I am feeling. Like
The
my
problem
balance.
is
I get
once
so
you-
Then you
sick.
need to get one of those walking mats. You know, the 360-degree walking treadmill things that VR uses sometimes.
Oh, you would see
know,
those
like,
in
where you
old
can actually
arcade
walk
games
around.
back in the like 90s and 2000s where it was just primitive
You still see
VR.
them now.
They still have those?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
They've been upgraded, so it's like a
Oh.
better version of what you're talking about. But yeah, they still have that.
Oh, that's sick. That's fucking sick. The problem with what Kai is talking about, though, is that once you get to that level of pass through, it's like it's no longer immersive. Like you can maybe do a
Yeah.
pass through,
that's
but
the
then
issue.
project the game as a screen in front of you. But then what's the point? You're not in the game by that point, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's how do you solve this? How do you solve the issue of we didn't evolve for this technology and now it's
Yeah.
making everybody sick, I guess. Or most people, well, not even most, just pussies like me, as I found out that I am, with a weak gene.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
how do
finally
you-
joined us.
Yeah. One day God will meet you at the gates of heaven and say, yes, Kaya, you too were a pussy. Come, my child.
And a
Yeah.
sucker for advertising, by the way. I only got the Quest 3 because I saw that video of Zuckerberg dunking on the Apple Vision Pro as being overpriced and shitty. And I thought, okay, I want to actually try this out. I want to see what the hoopla is about. And my mind was blown.
Yeah, if it's your first VR experience, that's going to be a good one. The Quest 3 is great for the
Yeah.
price. It really is. It's just, again,
It is.
my
It's a lot of
issue with it
fun.
is just it doesn't have a killer app yet, and I need VR like apps to.
Look at the investment cost, though. The Quest 3 is what, $300, give or take? The Apple Vision Pro is
Yeah.
about $4,000.
500.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
500
500
versus
compared
like
to $3,000.
$4,000. I mean, come on, you know?
Yeah, $3,500 exactly. But I mean,
Like, yeah.
I kind of understand now because I used to see these things, and you see the Apple commercials going, "Hey, you can have like 18 screens, like monitors, virtual, and edit videos and do your work." Now I kind of get why people still stick with TVs and regular monitors, is because you get sweaty, you get motion sick.
Yeah, you've still got
And
something
it's just-
strapped to your
it's-
head.
Yeah, it is still very uncomfortable if you wear it for longer than like 10 minutes. You actually do start to. I don't know, if you're doing anything like Beat Saber, especially, you just get sweaty and fog up the
Yeah,
lenses.
I can't do over 30 minutes in general with VR. That's why like it's fun for experiences and stuff, but I don't know, I wouldn't like count it
Yeah.
as like a replacement for, traditional.
It's
media,
really
devices.
not.
Yeah.
I tried once just for fun doing some like writing and researching in the browser in VR. I was like, oh, it's like, you have a whole 3D workstation. I can put things behind me and reach around and stand up and walk around my space and whatever. After 15 minutes, not even, I was like, this is just so gimmicky and slower and sucks. Like, this is not worth it. Fuck this.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap. I need to get to bed. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for joining us for this episode. Patreon.com/theofficialpodcast is going through some changes at the moment, and I wanted to make sure that we go on the record so that people know. Bonus episodes are mostly going away. Me and Kaya, or Kaya and myself, will do a bonus episode each month still, but Andrew and Charlie won't be there for bonuses anymore. On top of that, we're doing movie nights weekly, so there'll be 4 new movie nights per month. Currently, Kaya and myself are watching Ghost Stories, and Andrew
Ghost
and
Stories. Mhm.
Andrew and
Such
Charlie
a good
are
choice too.
You guys are invited to that. You can join us whenever you guys want if your schedules allow for you to join. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. I would love for you guys to join us for one eventually. Other than that, we've got other stuff like Red Thread, the official podcast, Criminally Stupid, all early access, ad-free over at the Patreon as well. And yeah, just go check it out. You've still got the giant archive of bonus episodes. I think how many are there? Like 120?
Yeah, a lot.
Bonus episodes.
A lot.
More than that, probably.
135.
Yeah.
If you include pre-post shows, there's like at least 180.
Oh, the pre-post show, man, that was
Yeah,
literal
that's
beginning of the
OG.
show. Holy shit!
Yeah, throwback. So yeah, thank you very much to our patrons. It really does mean so much for your support and sticking with us through these trying times of changes and stuff like that. But we appreciate it, and thank you for watching the show or the shows in general, Red Thread included. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.